Go check out their website or give them a call. They have really informative materials to study on God's character and his plans for the end times as found in Daniel and Revelation.
YouTube, Facebook, TikTok, especially Zoom. Welcome to another Bible study. This is uncommon to do it on Sundays for me, right? But we are here. Yesterday we had an amazing Bible study. It's going to be a series. How was Jesus supposed to die? And we're going to continue on. There's so much more to talk about. And so without further ado, let's get right into it. But first of all, we got to say hello to Zoom, who's always helping us out. They are the veterans. So Zoom, if you can say hello to everyone.
Good morning, and bless.
Hello, everybody.
All right. As always, they will be helping us out, walking us through the Bible study as we walk through this Bible study. So without further ado, let's get started. So yesterday we left off with, well, we left almost like on a cliffhanger. It was like, yo, that abruptly stopped because there was so much to how God was using Isaac and Abraham to give a sample of what it was supposed to be like for Jesus when he came. So if we remember, I'm gonna just quickly run down. Jesus was supposed to die the same way that Isaac was supposed to die on the altar. And so we went all through that. If you need to go back and study that, it's the Bible study we just did. It's called Let Us Unite, Beat Up, and Execute God. So with that being said, we're going to continue on. We need to go right back into Abraham and Isaac, and then we're going to start showing some things with when Jesus actually did come and the heaviness that he was going through before going to the cross. And we're going to talk about that too. All right, so let's go back into Abraham. Go to Genesis 22. We're going to go back to Genesis 22, and we're going to start in verse 4 because we already went through 1 through 3. We talked about when God told Abraham to take Isaac, sacrifice him as a burnt offering, right? If you understand what the burnt offering, that's for atonement. And he told him exactly where to do it at, which was Mount Moriah. So in verse 4, we're going to, who can I get to read? Actually, that's what we're going to do. Let's start in verse 4. And somebody read 4 and 5. So Genesis 22, 4 and 5.
I got you, bro.
All right.
On the third day, Abraham looked up and saw the place in the distance.
On the what day?
On the third day.
Okay, I'll just making sure it said. Okay, keep going. You good?
On the third day, Abraham looked up and saw the place in the distance. He said to his servants, "Stay here with the donkey while I and the boy go over there. We will worship, and then we will come back to you."
Huh? So God told him to go and sacrifice his son as a burnt offering, right? That's what God said. Go sacrifice your son as a burnt offering, right? And he tell his servant, what he just tell his servant, bro?
Stay here with the donkeys while we go and worship. We're going to be back.
Who going to be back?
We will.
We will be back. So if you really understand this whole concept of how Jesus was supposed to die, the resurrection was going to happen regardless. Y'all picked that up just then, right? So, but Abraham had to believe God at God's word because it had never happened before. Is that right? So he had to believe God at his word. I hope everybody hearing what I just said. He had to believe God at his word. All right. And this is why we're going to get into it. So keep reading. We're going to read 6 through 12. I'm not going to stop you anymore. And then we're going to dig into it. So finish reading 6 through 12 real quick.
Abraham took the wood for the burnt offering and placed it on his son Isaac, and he himself carried the fire and the knife. As the two of them went together, Isaac spoke up and said to his father, "Father." "Yes, my son," Abraham replied. "The fire and wood are here," Isaac said, "but where is the lamb for the burnt offering?" Abraham answered, "God himself will provide the lamb for the burnt offering, my son." And the two of them went on together. When they reached the place God had told him about, Abraham built an altar there and arranged the wood on it. He bound his son Isaac and laid him on the altar on top of the wood. Then he reached out his hand and took the knife to slay his son. But the angel of the Lord called out to him from heaven, "Abraham, Abraham." "Here I am," he replied. "Do not lay a hand on the boy," he said. "Do not do anything to him. Now I know that you fear God because you have not withheld from me your son, your only son."
Real quick, what you just got to teach?
He really did have to take him for his word, like just trusting in him that this your plan.
Amen.
Like,
amen. Most definitely. Go ahead, Mama Sue, and then I'm gonna pull out a few nuggets in here.
What I love too is Isaac. It doesn't say he had a battle with his son. Isaac surrendered, and he knew what was going on, but he didn't fight what was going on. He also had his own faith and belief in God.
So watch this. There's a few things you said. I'm 100% with you, and I'm gonna add some stuff to what you just said. So remember, Isaac asked, where is the lamb? So Isaac already knew about atonement and altar, burning off, the altar burnt offering and things of that. He already knew about it. So where's the lamb? And then Abraham said, God will supply. God will handle that. But Abraham knew what God wanted for his son, right? So I believe Abraham gently spoke. Y'all got to hear what I said. Gently told Isaac, this is what God wants. This is what he required. So he got bound. Is that right? He was bound. He bound Isaac. Does that mean? So that means he willingly, because Abraham's an older man, right? So Isaac willingly got bound because Abraham most likely was telling him about God's demand. So he willingly laid his life down. Y'all see how that worked? It's more to so, but the death was not supposed to be Abraham up there beating Isaac, beating him, spitting in his face and beating him, right? Watch this. I'm gonna ask this question. Is this a sample or an example of, or a parallel of what was supposed to happen with Israel? We all are in agreement with that or not?
Yes.
Yes.
All right. So if this is an example and parallel, this is God's heart right here that we're seeing. This is what God wanted to happen. And we know what happened. We'll get into that in one moment. And we'll talk about the type of things that Messiah, right, was having to experience before going to the ordeal is what I'll call it right now. But there's a few scriptures we need to look at. Abraham believed that God would resurrect Isaac from the dead. Did y'all know that? Abraham believed God would resurrect Isaac from the dead, and I'm gonna show it from the Bible. But the two things, what stood out? He said, we're gonna go and worship, and then what?
We will be back.
And we're gonna come back.
Mm-hmm.
So what does his word say? I believe God is gonna what?
Bring both of us back.
That's right. Oh, I hope everybody picked that up. Now watch this. Read this scripture. Somebody read Hebrews 11, 17 through 19 real quick. Somebody grab that and read it. Hebrews 11, 17 through 19. Who got it? Anybody? Anybody?
I got you, bro.
All right, then let's do it.
17 through what?
19. Hebrews 11, 17 through 19.
By faith, Abraham, when God tested him, offered Isaac as a sacrifice. He who embraced the promise was about to sacrifice his one and only son, even though God had said to him, "It is through Isaac that your offspring will be reckoned." Abraham reasoned that God could even raise the dead, and so in a manner of speaking, he did receive Isaac back from death. I get it now.
You want to read it? Read it one more time for everybody that didn't just hear what you just said. Read that one more time.
By faith, Abraham, when God tested him, offered Isaac as a sacrifice. He who had embraced the promises was about to sacrifice his one and only son, even though God said to him, "It is through Isaac that your offspring will be reckoned." Abraham reasoned that God could even raise the dead, and so in a manner of speaking, he did receive Isaac back from death.
Wow.
That's
great faith. I take God at his word. Guess who's going to have to do that in these days? Guess who have to do that in these days we're living in? Are we going to take God at his word, or are we going to know he says something and then go off and live life how we want to? Or who going to really take God at his word? Trust in the resurrection, right? Then he say he going to resurrect us?
Yes, sir.
But who believe it enough to willingly lay down your life? Who trust that enough to willingly lay down your life? All right, go ahead, teach, and then we're going to get back into it.
Now, that just makes sense of if you have to go into captivity, go into captivity. If you have to go by the sword, go by the sword. You have to trust in laying it down and laying your life down that what I said was true. Take me at my word.
That's right. So now what I want to do, I want to start to show some things about Messiah before and during the cross. I want to show a few things. So let's read a few verses. Somebody, all right, I need some readers. Who we got? Who put up your hand if you can read? Yeah, I said if you can read. If you can read. So we need some readers. Who gonna help out? All right, cool. So teach, grab John 18 4, J Law, Matthew 26 36 through 42, Deidre, Mark 14 34 through 37, Kimberly, Luke 22 39 through 44. All right, so who we got first? Teach. Let's read a few verses real quick. Go ahead.
You have me at John 18, verse 4.
John 18, 4. All right. Let me get there real quick.
Gotcha.
Right, read 1 through 4.
You want 1 through 4? Or just 4?
Just read 1 through 4.
Okay. When he had finished praying, Jesus left with his disciples and crossed Kidron Valley. On the other side, there was a garden, and he and his disciples went into it. Now, Judas, who had betrayed him, knew the place because Jesus had often met there with his disciples. So Judas came to the garden, guiding a detachment of soldiers and some officials from the chief priests and Pharisees. They were carrying torches, lanterns, and weapons. Jesus, knowing all that was going to happen to him, went out and asked them, "Who is it you want?"
All right, so watch this. Jesus what?
Went out, knowing all that was going to happen to him.
So he knew all that was about to happen.
Yes, sir.
So think about it. He know they're coming with torches and lanterns and weapons, right? He already know. Now, remember before this, he said the time ain't right. Right? Right? The time wasn't right. But this is the right what? Time. And he knew the time. He knew the right time to not run. Remember, he ran through the crowd one time when they was trying to throw him off a cliff, right? Remember, they had picked up stones to stone him, right? Y'all remember these things, but it wasn't time. So they come in with these lanterns and stuff, but God the Father said gently to him. What'd he say gently, y'all?
It's time.
It's time. All right, who got the next one? Who got Matthew 26? We're going to read it. Go ahead. Matthew 26, 36 through 42, right?
Mm-hmm.
All right, let's read that.
All right. Then Jesus went with his disciples to a place called Gethsemane, and he said to them, "Sit here while I go over there and pray." He took Peter and the 2 sons of Zebedee along with him, and he began to be sorrowful and troubled.
He what?
He began to be sorrowful and troubled.
That matters right there. What she just read matters. So he began to be sorrowful and troubled. Go ahead, sis.
Okay. Then he said to them, "My soul is overwhelmed with sorrow to the point of death. Stay here and keep watch with me." Okay, yep. Going a little farther, he fell with his face to the ground and prayed, "My Father, if it is possible, may this cup be taken away from me. Yet not as I will, but as you will."
So stop right there for 1 second.
Mm-hmm.
Who caught it? Remember the parallel, the sample we just went through. Who caught something?
This is like when he's being bound.
Right. But yes, it's like that. But what did you catch? Did Isaac willingly get bound, right?
Yeah.
Was he crying and all these kind of things and heavy and sorrowful and troubled and all these things, right? There's a difference here now. He's sorrowful and troubled because he know the pain, not the piercing, not the one piercing the blood comes out, you know. He know the pain. Is that right?
Yes, sir.
That he's y'all see the difference now? See, Abraham was just going to take the knife, pierce Isaac, right? And it's over with. What was Messiah about to experience? We're going to get into that.
That's whole nother ball game.
A whole different ball game. Plan B. I like that. Plan B. Now watch this. Now keep going, sis.
Verse 40. Then he returned to his disciples and found them sleeping. "Couldn't you men keep watch with me for 1 hour?" he asked Peter. "Watch and pray so that you will not fall into temptation. The spirit is willing, but the flesh is weak." Keep going.
At 42.
Okay. He went away a second time and prayed, "My Father, if it is not possible for this cup to be taken away unless I drink it, may your will be done."
What did y'all just get? Are y'all hearing it closely now? Y'all hear the heaviness in his spirit, like knowing what I'm about to go through. Very, very heavy. Extremely. This was not the Isaac experience, y'all. Isaac didn't go off and keep praying and, you know, all these things and stuff. This wasn't the Isaac experience. Messiah was about to experience something totally different than any human being has ever experienced. All right. We're gonna stop there for there. We're gonna go over to Mark now. Go Mark. Who got Mark 14? Who has that? 34 through 30.
Zuri volunteered for us. So Zuri has Mark 14, 34 through 37.
Come on, Zuri. Appreciate you. Let's get it.
Let's go, Zuri.
Let's go. Come on.
My soul is overwhelmed with sorrow to the point of death. He said to them, "Stay here and keep watch." Going a little further, he fell into the ground and prayed that if possible, the door might open. The hour might pass for him.
Abba, yeah.
Abba, Father, he said, everything is possible for you. Take this cup from me, yet not what I will, but what you will. Then he returned to his disciples and found them sleeping. Simon, he said to Peter, are you asleep? Couldn't you keep watch for 1 hour?
And read 38.
Watch and pray so that you will not fall into temptation. The spirit is willing, but the flesh is weak.
Amen. So I'm so glad we get different descriptions of this. Abba, Father. Everything is possible for you. Take this cup from me. Yet not what I will, but what you will. To know what you're about to endure. So watch this. Is there coming a time on the land where people will be tortured to make a decision?
Yes.
Right?
Yeah.
So if you haven't got sealed and you ain't passed any test of faith, God is going to actually take you through something that is his will, his design will, to get you to a place of what?
Accepting of him.
Accepting his will, your decision time. This determines whether I'm resurrected, right, with the saints, or what side I'm going to choose.
Satan.
That's right. See, when torture comes, do y'all realize that Messiah went through torture? When torture comes, what is Messiah's prayer? Anybody notice in his prayer? I don't want to be what?
Tortured.
Everybody, y'all picking it up? I don't want to be tortured, but
not my will, but
If it's your will.
If it's your will.
It wasn't. That's right. Was it his will?
Yes.
Yeah.
But watch this. Was it his original intent?
No.
No. But his will was, you got to go through this. You must go through this. But it wasn't his original intent. The original intent, I'm going to keep saying it, was Abraham and Isaac. That story was his original intent. Now, last one. Go ahead. I think it's Sister Kimberly, right? Luke 22.
Yes.
All right, go ahead. Luke 22, 39 through 44.
Yes, sir.
All
Jesus went out as usual. Jesus went out as usual to the Mount of Olives, and his disciples followed him. On reaching the place, he said to them, pray that you will not fall into temptation. Pray that you will not fall into temptation. He withdrew a stone's throw behind them, knelt down, and prayed, Father, if you are willing, take this cup from me, yet not my will, but yours be done. An angel from heaven appeared to him and strengthened him. And being in anguish, he prayed one more earnestly, and his sweat was like drops of blood falling to the ground.
What did y'all notice in that particular in Luke? What was the difference?
When after he prayed, he got his answer because the angel came and strengthened him. Like,
so his strength came from where?
His submission.
Holy
God.
Spirit.
Right, heaven, right? His strength came from, so he wasn't no longer thinking about his earthly temporal life. The strength that he needed came from heaven. This is something that is very important for us. The strength we need comes from heaven. There's no way to be tortured, beat, slap, punch, kick, all this kind of stuff without the Spirit empowering us. This is why total surrender is necessary. So now we're going to go and start reading during. Go ahead, Deidre.
So my question So God knows all, sees all. He knows past, present, and future. I understand what you're saying about his original plan with Abraham and Isaac, but that things changed and it became this situation where Jesus had to be tortured and go through all of this. What would be the reason why the plan changed and God not know that the plan is going to change? If that makes sense.
Okay, let me slow that down real quick. What would be the reason the plan changed?
Right, because
All right.
his original plan was Abraham and Isaac.
Yeah, definitely.
But he had to, at this point, come with the plan B of Jesus.
Mm-hmm.
How is that a plan B if he already knew that the first one wasn't gonna work no way?
All right, so
Why not just go straight to
yeah.
Jesus?
So think about it like this. When you are in a bilateral covenant, it takes two parties in agreement to make that covenant happen, right?
Yes.
So both parties has to be in agreement. So with Abraham and Isaac, were both parties in agreement?
Yes.
With Messiah and Israel, was both parties in agreement?
No, because they complain too much.
So this was Israel's opportunity to be in alignment with heaven. So Israel's opportunity to be in line with heaven is the real reason why it had to happen this way, because they were of the what? Flesh, and he was of the what? Spirit.
Mm-hmm.
So all right, so I'm gonna give an example. It's like marriage, right? If you always in the spirit in a marriage, right, and the person you married to is always in the flesh, can the person that's in the flesh hate you?
Yes.
Right, because you're always thinking of heavenly things. You have your mind on heavenly things. The one in the flesh, they hate you to the point where they'll even do people, watch this, do people when they hate spouses, do they sometimes hire people to take them out?
Yes.
Yes.
But we was in agreement, and you hate me so much that you'll hire somebody to assassinate me? That wasn't Abraham and Isaac's relationship. Go ahead, Sister Angel G.
Oh, I was just gonna say, like how also God doesn't make decisions, or he doesn't interfere with our free will. He knows what we're gonna do, but he doesn't use his foreknowledge to make decisions. Like he's still going to allow things to play out, but he has like that he has things in place because he knows the decisions that we're going to make. So that's like why he had Jesus as what we would call a backup plan, but really he just had something in place because he knew what was going to take place, but he wasn't going to, like, he's not going to just jump to that and not allow everything else to take place first.
So the blood was enough. The beating and the scourging and the flogging was extra. So I need to say, so God's plan was my son is going, my servant is going to come and his blood will be shed. Right? That was his plan. The blood will be shed for who though? For all these sinners out here that desire to be redeemed, that is willing to be redeemed so they can live with us forever. That's the plan. The beating, the scourging, the flogging is things of the flesh. It's psychotic. It's demonic. That's how what he's showing through the Messiah's death, the way they did it to him, was how far Satan and any of his angels will go, right? To what's the question? What's the way I want to say it? This is what they'll do if they're allowed to do it to anybody. It's almost like how they ransacked Job's life in one day. How Satan was able to just ransack his life in no time. This is how far they'll go and how much hatred they have for Messiah. It wasn't. Israel was supposed to love Jesus. So God's plan was he comes to the altar and willingly lay down. Right? That's his plan. But man, it being a bilateral covenant, being influenced, demonically influenced by Satan, then Herod, watch this. When Jesus was born, then Herod, demonically influenced by Satan, destroy so many people's lives to try and take out Messiah.
Absolutely.
So that tells us how far man is willing to go in opposition to God, or man influenced by Satan is willing to go in opposition to God.
I'm with you on all of that. I guess my thought process is he knew all of that was going to happen, that they weren't going to do what they were supposed to do or keep the covenant with him. Why not just go straight to Jesus?
Wait, when you say why not go straight to Jesus, what you mean? Like
why not? Why did we have to do this plan A? Let them make the mistakes that they made and then have this quote unquote plan B. Like, why not just go straight to plan B?
All right, so you may have a plan for your daughter's life, right? That's possible?
Sure.
You know where I'm about to go, right?
No, I said sure because I know that is something that like a mistake that parents make is having a plan. So I don't necessarily have like what I see for her future. No, but there are things that I hope she never has to go through.
Okay, true. So just say you have a plan for your child, right? And your plan is, okay, when you get this age, you're going to get this, you're going to go here, you're going to go maybe school, whatever the case may be. And you know beforehand that she ain't going to go to college, but you have a college fund. So you said the college fund is 75 grand, 100 grand, right? So she'll start the school because you want her to go, but she won't finish it. Will you still pay that 75 to 100 grand?
Hey, for what? She ain't doing it.
No, she started it, but she's not going to finish it.
Oh, then no, I'm not going to give her.
Oh, so we're not like, so that's not, so watch this. God is opposite of that. God knows what we're going to do, and he will still pay the debt or pay whatever so you can go through that experience of what you are going to do. People don't think like this. So if God knows Satan was going to be evil, the Lucifer would turn evil and things of that nature, what people will say, I'm just not going to create him. I'll bypass him and create everybody else and not him. That's people. Is that love though?
No.
You see how if we have foreknowledge, what we'll do with it? God don't think like us. So God wants us to know his original plan, and he wants us to be able to see it and know his backup plan. Because when God do a covenant, if you do this, I'll do that. That means it's up to someone else. But if God said, I will make you something, right? I'm gonna make you father of a nation, of nations and things like that's a unilateral one. Or I would never flood the earth. So now God has to keep that promise. So when you say go straight to Jesus, right? When you saying let's just go straight, he did go straight to Jesus. Jesus did, blood was shed, but the beating, the scourging, and flogging was not a part of God's plan. Does that make sense now?
I'm gonna process it.
So
I gotta think it through.
Blood was shed. I want to say that one more time. Blood had to be shed.
Right.
The beating, flogging, scourging, punching, slapping, kicking, spitting was not needed. So who did it?
Hey, I got a question, bro.
Go ahead.
Do you think that's the reason why he was sweating blood the way that he did? Because he knew that the extra, et cetera, what they was going to do to him as far as the... All
right. So the sweat was like blood drops. You got that?
Yeah.
So it's like sweating so hard. You know how blood, when it's leaking out of you, you know, when like you get cut or something like that. So he's praying, and he's praying so earnestly that he's sweating profusely. It's a lot of sweat coming out. It's dropping. It's almost like he went and ran 3 miles or something. That's the difference. So when we say sweat, the blood, like blood came out, it was like blood. We'll read that verse too if we need to.
No, but I'm saying the reason why that happened, do you believe that was because of the extra, like because other people were crucified, like hung on the cross before, so it doesn't, like the Bible doesn't make mention that anybody else ever sweat, or it was to that extreme when it was sweating blood in the Bible, but because of the Messiah knew that it wasn't just a crucifixion that was getting ready to happen, but also the extra, the flogging, you know, how they was kind of whip him and all the other stuff that he was getting ready to go through. Do you believe that that was like why he was up under so much distress?
Yeah, because that's what he just said. He's praying, Father, if it's possible, he know what's coming. So he praying before it comes, Father, if it's possible, take this cup, you know, but I'm not my will. This is your will. This is your will. I go through this. I do not believe he would have had the same heaviness, this same sweating and profusely sweating and things of that nature if Israel loved him, right? And like Abraham loved Isaac, I think he would have willingly did what Isaac did, laid down on that altar willingly and allowed himself to just be punctured and the blood to run out. And then he would have been resurrected 3 days later, of course. Same thing. But the thing about the beating and the flogging is God trying to show us what the enemy would do to him if he could. That's the next level of it. This is what the enemy would do to God if he could. All right, go ahead, Mama Sue.
I thought I heard Sister Deidre when you said that as if like Isaac was plan A and Jesus was plan B, but Jesus was always coming. Did I hear that? Did I hear that right when you said that? Because Isaac was a parable, and what?
Oh, well, it's a sample.
A sample.
Yeah.
But Jesus was always coming, and there was a plan A and a plan B for Jesus's crucifixion.
Well, he wasn't supposed to be crucified.
Okay.
He wasn't supposed.
So
that's what I'm saying.
Right.
It wasn't supposed to be like that. Go ahead, Deidre. I'm sorry.
Yeah, from that's what. Pause. Rewind. So that's my understanding from yesterday, because this is the first time I'm looking at this parallel. So from yesterday, what I gathered was Abraham and Isaac. Well, that was meant to be that first bilateral contract. I get that. But because they didn't fulfill their end of the bargain is why the Messiah had to send Jesus. Correct?
Wait. Go back a little bit. What you just said.
So there was the original bilateral contract. They didn't do what they were supposed to do. So therefore, that contract could not be fulfilled. So because they didn't do, well, we as a people didn't do what we were supposed to do, that's why he had to send Jesus.
No, Jesus was going to be sent anyway, regardless. God had already been trying to establish his kingdom on earth a few times. He tried to establish it when they was in the wilderness, and Jesus would have came later. He tried to establish it, like, I think during King David's time, I believe it was, or Isaiah time. I remember that, Isaiah. So he's tried to establish the kingdom a few times on earth, but it was the lack of participation and covenant, the holding up of the other end of the bargain. Jesus was always going to come from the beginning of when they sinned in the garden.
So
that's what I wanted to catch.
When my confusion is coming in,
yeah,
Susan, is that was my thought process, that Jesus was the next thing since we didn't do the first thing right. I was not aware that that was always the plan, I guess I should say.
Yeah, Jesus coming was always the plan.
Yeah,
Jesus coming was always the plan, to lay his life down in the same manner that Isaac did. It was always the plan.
That's what you were saying yesterday.
Yeah,
we read the verse yesterday, and they were like, he was just supposed to essentially volunteer himself up to be killed, but again, we didn't do what we were supposed to do. Okay, so that was my disconnect. I thought Jesus was sent because we didn't do the right thing the first time.
Well, we did
That's
Adam
what
and
I
Eve because of Adam and Eve, basically, you know, no blame if you understand, but their
Right.
choice is what kicked it all into gear.
Them eating the fruit.
That's right. Their choice
Okay.
eating from the tree of knowledge of good and evil is what kicked everything off. So he always was going to come. God was trying to pick the right time, which was a few times in the Old Testament. And then he gave them one more chance in the book of Daniel. He gave them 70 weeks. And he just said, look, in the middle of the week, y'all going to put them to death. Y'all not even going to fulfill it. So he gave them 490 years and let them know y'all not even going to do this. Y'all going to actually, he going to be cut off and have nothing is what the Bible say. So he not even going to make it to the end of the 70 weeks for it to happen the way God originally intended because of the hearts of men, the demonic influence, right? All these kind of things, unrighteousness.
Okay. That makes more sense. I didn't know that was always the plan.
Yeah, that's what I thought that you were really asking, Sister Deidre. That's why I wanted to bring it up. So
Most definitely.
praise God.
Go
That
ahead,
made it make
Pastor.
sense. Appreciate you. Sorry to take you off course.
No, you good. You good. Go ahead, Pastor, and then we're gonna read a few things.
This study that you were doing yesterday and today, you've actually mentioned it yesterday and you said it a few minutes ago, and that is revealing what the enemy would have done if he was allowed to. And that's when we've been studying the character and heart of God, when we've been learning and being exposed to that, we're also being exposed to how the enemy would operate. You know what I'm saying? And we come to a better understanding of what God, the Holy Spirit, and Jesus all gave up for us. And it gives it a different perspective. And it brings it home in the Bible when it says, if it was so, even the elect would be fooled. Like if I didn't intervene, the enemy would go so hard. You know what I'm saying? If it wasn't for the days to be shortened, everybody would go. Like it's just certain things that he's showing us of the character of the enemy versus the character and the compassion that he has, that he's trying to scream to the world that he, you know, time and time again has been showing us. So that's been jumping out this last two studies. And I really think that penetrates the heart of, you know, everyone that's listening, because the more and more we deeper in engage ourselves with the character and heart of God, the more and more the enemy is exposed the way that he operates, and it's easier for us not to be in a place of deception.
Yeah, because the way God operates, he's trying to show us his heart. Like, I'm not into beating and slapping and punching and flogging. I'm not into that. That's not my heart. That's not who I am. I'm not homicidal. I'm not I'm not murderous. Now, if I have to enact justice, that's another thing, but I'm not those things. The enemy, he said, is a murderer, right? And a liar. He was that from the beginning. So he's murderous. So that goes hand in hand. And like God's heart was the Abraham Isaac situation. It wasn't what Israel and Rome teaming up to do to him. That wasn't it. Go ahead, Sister Kimberly.
I heard us pose the question, like, if God knew Satan was going to do everything he did, why he didn't just bypass him, right? Then I posed the question to all us humans, the small children we're raising now, or the small children we're going to have, or the adult children that we raised, if we had knowledge that they were going to do something heinous, colossal, evil to the majority of the world, if we knew that they were going to do that, would you end yours? Would you? I'm just saying, like, that's where we expect our creator to say, hey, you knew that this being created, we're going to do these evil things, and why you didn't just end them. But if we knew our children that we're raising, or that we've already raised, or that we're going to raise, we're going to do something awful. If we knew it for sure, would we end our own children, or would we allow it to play out of love?
Yeah, almost everybody said they're going to allow it to play out, of course, because anybody who have children right now, your children could turn out to be psychotic if they chose. They could turn out however they can. They have that freedom to do it. So what you saying, if they did it at 30 years old, you're going to say, man, I should have never had him. If I would have known you was going to do this, I would have not had you. Come on. That's human. That's flesh. That's not heavenly thinking. So God says my ways are higher than yours and my thoughts are higher than yours. I only want in my house willing people, but I got to give you free will, choice, right? Intellect, right? I have to give you all these things so we have a great relationship, just like marriages, friendships, everything. I have to do these things so we can have that relationship, and it's real. It's not robotic. All right, we're going to keep going. So let's get right back into it. Any questions? We don't got no questions on none of this stuff, right? All right, let's move forward. I know it ain't no questions. Let's keep going. Now we're going to see during now. So I need so this is going to be like a flow. So somebody grab John 18:22. Who we got? So we got some readers. We got some more readers. All right, John 18:22. Stead, grab Matthew 26:67 through 68. J Law, Mark 14:65. And one more. Who I got? Somebody. All right, Frazier, Luke 22:63 through 65.
Luke what?
Luke 22:63 through 65. We're gonna read this like it all go together. It's like one little thing, but I want us to understand like from the perspectives what was going on. Go ahead, John 18. Read 1 through. John, you and John 18:22, right, bro?
Yes, sir.
Read verses 19 through 22.
Got you. Meanwhile, the high priest questioned Jesus and his disciples in his teaching. I have spoken openly to the world, Jesus replied. I always taught in synagogues or at the temple, where all the Jews come together. I said nothing in secret. Why question me? Ask those who heard me. Surely they know what I said. When Jesus said this, one of the officials nearby slapped him in the face. Is this the way you answer the high priest? He demanded.
And keep going to 24.
If I said something wrong, Jesus replied, testify as to what is wrong. But if I spoke the truth, why did you strike me?
What bothered Jesus right then?
About being wrongfully slapped. What I said
so it wasn't God's will that he be out here getting slapped and punched and kicked, huh? Did y'all just pick that? Y'all just saw that?
Yeah.
Did everybody just see that? But
injustice.
That's right. Remember, it's the person who commit the capital punishments and stuff right there, the capital offenses that receive those type of punishments. So think about what Messiah, like, yo, I've been doing everything openly. He's actually pouring his heart in this moment. Everybody picking, he's pouring his heart in these moments to them. Like y'all know me. Y'all saw everything I was doing.
And it's giving them a chance it's giving them the final chance to be righteous. Like, this is your moment. Like, yo, if I did say something, say it. And if I didn't, then you have the option to say, you know what, I apologize. You have a chance to repent in this moment.
Most definitely.
Yeah, but
go ahead,
yeah, just going off of what you said, just when I went back up to 20, when he said I always taught in the synagogues or at the temples where all the Jews came together. I said nothing in secret. So you're just saying I didn't say anything behind your back. I didn't say anything that you didn't hear me say. And none of that, they were in, teachers of laws and stuff. They were in the word. So I didn't say anything that you didn't read. You know what I'm saying? So why did you slap me?
Hey, can I add one more?
Yeah, go ahead.
Bro, I just realized he said, I said nothing in secret. So all the times when he would turn around and address his disciples, they heard, and he said, like, no, you heard what I said. And I said nothing in secret. So that just blew my mind of just catching that, like, oh no, y'all heard this.
Come on now. Yeah. All right, go ahead, Kimberly, and then I want you to finish that last part. Gotcha. Because it's something that stick out. Go ahead, Kimberly.
If God had never created Satan, who would have tempted Eve to get them kicked out of the garden? Isn't that why man was created? Like, if per se he never tempted Eve, right? And they never got kicked out of Eden, they'd have just, Adam and Eve would have lived in heaven for forever. Like, who's to say mankind would have ever even been we're almost an afterthought, if that makes sense, of Satan's sin. Like, okay, he's going to sin anyway. And I'm going to send them down to another realm for, like, I don't know, like, it's deeper than just the pain that he caused. Would we have even been created if Satan hadn't had Adam and Eve kicked out of Eden?
Be fruitful and multiply. He told them that in the garden before Satan
They'd
tempted.
have had, so they'd have created humans in heaven. Then they wouldn't have been in earth
Eden.
type of thing.
They was on
Eden?
earth.
Right.
That was Eden.
Eden's on earth.
Yeah, Eden's on earth.
No, we would have been here, but it just would have been no sin, no evilness, or nothing like that.
And
All
he
right, all
and
right.
watch this. This how deep it go. And he would watch this. If they would have overcame him, he would have destroyed him and everybody that went on his side. Yeah, you got that. So them Adam and Eve overcoming that temptation and like, nah, we ain't listening to you. Yeah, they multiplying in the garden, right? And guess what? I believe this is something that's possible, that by the time that the multiplication came to what God had lost, right? The people God, the angels he lost, then he said, okay, now y'all see these people are willing, and now I got to destroy y'all basically with tears in my eyes. Because you guys only tried to tempt them. Think about a adult trying to tempt a child and what you would want to do to that adult with tears in your eyes. Right? Go ahead, Louis, and then Stedman. You there?
Yeah, I'm right here, my bad. Stedman, you can go first.
I go Sid.
No, just real quick, two things. When you were saying when Sis was saying about the animals, it made me think about when he collected two of every kind, because he didn't want to destroy everything. Even though he did, he still wanted them to multiply, you know, even after everything, you know, after he brought the water onto the you know, on earth, flooded earth. Then secondly, bro, I'm still in 21. Remember when he say those who have ears, let them hear. So when he said, why question me? Ask those who heard me. I don't know if I'm just going beyond, but he said, surely they know what I said. Like, that's when I read that, that's when I was like, oh, okay. Because even though everybody heard, they weren't listening. You know what I'm saying? Even though they were listening, they didn't hear what he was, you know what I'm saying.
Guess who just revealed that to you?
Yeah.
Huh, man.
Yes.
Spirit don't play, right? That's why we Bible study are for believers. We get those revelations. God starts to bring his word alive even more. All right. Louis, you wanted to go before we kept going?
Yeah, I got two things. The Bible always be foreshadowing. You see when it was the religious and the government that killed Jesus, the witness. That's a foreshadow, just to make sure you guys are keeping up what's going on right now. And then the Satan, he when he attacks, he's not playing checkers. Like, we have to understand what this checker is. Checker is like one move at a time. So when he tempted Eve, his thing was to get the authority of earth.
Earth, yeah.
So we understand that he was upset. Like, why are you giving them the authority not been here? So I just want everybody to realize, like, when he come and attack, he's not just trying to keep you in sin. Like, sin, like when Adam and them sinned, when did they die?
Like hundreds of years later.
Thousands of years. So what I'm trying to say, you see how long it took for sin to start being effective and where we're at right now in the generation where sin is? So I just want everybody to see that it's not sin what everybody keeps having in mind, the devil has you tricked up on. It's beyond. Like, you guys got to see what he's really trying to do. You take your generation down, your bloodline. You feel what I'm saying? It ain't just trying to get you to be off task. I love y'all.
Appreciate you, bro. Definitely. All right. So Jesus said, why did you strike me? The last thing he said real quick was, what's that teach? Verse 24.
Then Annas sent him bound to Caiaphas, the high priest.
Annas sent him what?
Bound.
Look,
Just
yeah,
like
get them
Isaac.
highlighters out. Yo, now I'm starting to see that this was not God's intent. What his true intent was. This was not God's intent for Jesus to be getting slapped and punched and kicked around. But this is how willing Jesus was and how much love he had for us. This is how willing he was and how much love he really got for us to go through all this. Now we're going to keep going. We got to read these. Let's read these scriptures kind of fast real quick. We're trying to press forward. So who got Matthew 26, 67, 68?
Me, Matthew 26.
I know you want to share that, Teach. I forgot you did share that yesterday. Wounds from a friend and multiply kisses.
Yes, sir.
I'll let you share it at the end. Go ahead, Usted.
Okay, 27 and 28. 27. Then he took a cup.
67 and 68.
Oh, mom's okay.
Yeah,
Gotcha.
Matthew
67.
27. Matthew 27 verses 67 and 68.
Okay. 67. Then they spit in his face and struck him with their fists. Others slapped him and said, "Prophesy to us, Messiah. Who hit you?" Now Peter was sitting out in the court, and a servant girl came to him. "You also were with Jesus of Galilee," she said. Keep going.
So that was Matthew 26, right? 67,
Matthew 26, 67, and I just read 69. Yeah.
Yeah, so 67 and 68. Look at what they did. So actually, I'm gonna go back just one more. Go back to yeah. When Messiah said who he was and he was gonna be coming on the clouds and all these kind of things, and then the high priest tore his clothes and said he spoke in blasphemy, right? Why we need any more witnesses? So this is Caiaphas here. This is after he been struck at Annas. Annas, right? So right after that, now he goes over here to Caiaphas bound. So we putting it together. He goes over here, he's bound to Caiaphas now. And so the high priest, he's asking Jesus and all these kind of things. As you can read all of it. I just didn't want to get into everything. But when he tells them again in verse 64, go ahead and read 64 real quick, bro.
Okay. 64. "You have said so," Jesus replied. You want me to go 63 or just
go ahead? That's fine. I'm trying to get through.
My bad. I'll say 64. My bad.
No, go ahead. Go ahead. It's 62.
Jesus remained
62.
silent. 62. Okay.
Yeah.
Then the high priest stood up and said to Jesus, "Are you not going to answer? What is the testimony that these men are bringing against you?" But Jesus remained silent. The high priest said to him, "I charge you under oath by the living God. Tell us if you are the Messiah, the Son of God." "You have said so," Jesus replied. "But I will say to all of you, from now on, you will see the Son of Man sitting at the right hand of the Mighty One and coming on the clouds of heaven." Then the high priest tore his clothes and said, "He has spoken blasphemy," even though they asked him, why do we need any more witnesses? Look, now you have heard the blasphemy. What do you think?" "He is worthy of death," they answered. Then they spit in his face, struck him with their fists. Others slapped him and said, "Prophesy to us, Messiah. Who hit you?"
Y'all getting it? Y'all starting to see it now?
Bro.
Yeah. Y'all starting to see. Go ahead, Teach.
Bro, it's just blown my mind that tearing your clothes is a sign of mourning that they usually do. Or it's just crazy of what he was mourning. He was mourning as if this was blasphemy, and just how off it is and what he was mourning. It just throws me off, because though they were supposed to be in a state of mourning, what they were mourning meant something. So that just caught my eye.
And bro, as I read, remember what you was talking about yesterday when you was like, sometimes when you're about to fight and you say some extra, like it just makes them go even harder.
I just thought the same thing. What you just said, I just thought that same thing.
He said, "Yeah, bro." He didn't say anything. He said, "Jesus remained silent," and they said, "Tell us." And he said, "You said so." Like I don't have to say it. You said so. That just stood out to me, bro. And then they still,
yep.
You know what I'm saying? Because they, bro.
No matter what you say, that's right.
Right. No, I know.
No matter what you say right now, we about to punch, kick, slap you, man. Go ahead, babe.
I love that BSC Teach pointed out the ripping of the garments, because that's something that always fascinated me too. And I see that it was in depth manipulation of the crowd, because the Pharisees and the Sadducees knew the only reason they wanted to crucify Jesus is because he was gaining more popularity than them.
And they even said it.
Right.
They even said it. He going to take over. Everybody gonna be listening to what he teaching.
Exactly. And ripping your garment is almost like a priest or a pastor curse. Well, I mean, I know it's not nothing, for modern day pastors to curse, but back then, like for a priest to curse or rip his garment, that was horrible. But they knew they had to put on an extreme show, because they were like, no, we are going to kill him. We have to shut him up. We have to do whatever it takes.
Because they was already planning it.
Right. And it just shows how deeply they were allowing the devil to use them and to take them over. It's like they got to the point of like no return. Like, they hate this man. He's done. Like my pride, my hatred won't allow me to look back. I'm wrong and strong, and I'm moving forward, and I'm ripping this garment, and y'all better put him on the cross.
Real life crash out.
That's what it is right there. Like, we gonna crash all the way out right now. So we're not going to do the Mark 14 because Luke says it also. So actually, who got Mark 14:65 and who got Luke 22:63-65? Yeah, who got those two?
I have Mark 14:65.
Yeah, it was an extra thing they did. Another perspective. Go ahead and read that, sis. And then whoever got Luke, I want you to read it after that.
Then some began to spit at him. They blindfolded him, struck him with their fists. They blindfolded him.
Think about that, sis. Think about, you got it. When we get the fullness, they blindfolded him.
He was only supposed to be bound.
Yeah. And, bro, what I just read, that's what it just put together. You know what I'm saying? Them saying, or prophesied to us, you're supposed to be the Son of Man. But, yeah, bro.
Go ahead and finish, sis.
Struck him with their fists and said, prophesy. And the guards took him and beat him.
I need y'all to understand something right now. He's getting all this slapping, punching, and kicking and beatings before he even go to the Romans.
Mm-hmm.
He's blindfolded, he's bound, he's getting punched, kicked, slapped before he even go to the Romans. And the guards are having a field day. It says the guards took him and beat him even more. Is that coming during the Great Tribulation?
Yes, sir.
Absolutely.
I wanted us to, this before Rome, this before the government gets involved. This is before they doing all this stuff before. So think about what he knew what was coming and his prayer now. Think about the praying that I know what they about to do to me. Think about the prayer now. The sweating, I can't even sleep. Would you be able to sleep? See, the disciples could sleep because they had heard him. They heard him say many times what was going to happen to him, right? They could sleep. I hope y'all got that part.
It is crazy. It's crazy that he was already like all the pain that he endured even before he went to the crucifixion, before he even went to, like you were saying, to get the beatings, before he even got whipped. Like he was already up under like a lot of pain already just by being beat and hit and all that. Then you get the Rome. Then you get whipped. You know what I mean? Just them 39 lashes. Then on top of that, the extra got to carry your cross. Then on top of that, the way they, you know what I'm saying, beat the nails into it is like, it's just like levels on levels.
That's right, bro. It's levels. It was levels to how the enemy want him to suffer. But you notice the Father did not want him to suffer like that. Yeah. The enemy, when he get that opportunity, so imagine the torture that's coming at the fifth trumpet. because we ain't made decisions, because we ain't lived the life of faith, right? We love family, we love kids, we love wives, we love jobs, we love houses, we love things that we have more than God. So when you test it and you don't receive that seal, now you about to be tortured to make a decision. And so think about this. If you ain't got the seal by the time the fifth trumpet happens and you get tortured and you already a wavy person, up and down seesawing type person. So think about what's really about to take place. Think about what side you really might choose. We're going to keep going. Go ahead, Derek. Read yours real quick, and then I got a few more. I'm trying to at least 12:30. I'm trying to stop at 12:30 at least because there's so much y'all can see.
I'm going to 65, Luke 22,
63 through 65.
The men who were guarding Jesus began mocking and beating him. They blindfolded him and demanded prophecy. Who hit you? And they said many other insulting things to him. Keep going.
Yeah. That was 65?
Yeah.
So you did 63 to, yeah, right. So they, the blindfolded him, beat him, all these kind of things. So we see the perspective is there, right? Now what we're going to do is we're going to look now, just really quick, get a view now. It went from religious to unity. Now we're going to look at that real quick and see the constant mocking now, the constant beating, and think about this. He's being sent places, beat up. He has to walk miles to when Pilate said, man, take him to Herod. I'm going to give y'all, somebody read it real quick. Go to Luke 23, read 6 and 7 real quick.
I got you, bro.
Oh.
All right, go ahead.
Oh, no, go ahead.
On hearing this, Pilate asked if the
all right,
man
well, read 1 through 7. Go ahead.
All
right.
And the whole assembly rose and led him off to Pilate. And they began to accuse him, saying, we have found this man subverting our nation. He opposed payments of taxes to Caesar, wow, and claims to be the Messiah, a king.
Oh, think about
Pilate,
that. Wait. Did y'all
bro.
think about what's being said?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
What's he was saying?
I didn't hear what you say, bro.
No, I said it was accusing him of things he didn't even do or say.
Yeah.
We have found this man subverting our nation. Watch this. Rome wouldn't have cared too much about that. Right?
Yeah,
they wouldn't have cared too much about that. What they throw in, what was the icing on, what that little icing on the top they did next?
He don't want Caesar to get his money.
The
man said, give Caesar what is
trying to get him on tax evasion. The other charges wouldn't stick, so they wanted to get him with tax evasion.
Right.
No, it's crazy, but he paid the taxes.
He did. Yeah.
Yep.
So it should have been on. It would have been on record.
Right. He literally said, give Caesar's what is Caesar.
Yep. And what's God's? That's right.
Mm-hmm.
That's right. All right. Go ahead, Marcus.
No, they was the first gang members, bro. Like straight up. You know what I'm saying?
Don't forget we had the Amalekites.
No, but they really wanted that man out of there. You know what I'm saying? Like they wanted to destroy him mentally and physically. You know what I'm saying? And by them sending him different places, they wanted to send a message to all the believers. Like you running after this man. This was gonna happen to you too. Crazy.
So think about what's coming for us.
They still do those tactics, bro.
It's the same tactics.
Yeah, you beat up the leader and let the other ones spread out. You know what I'm saying? They're gonna run away.
That's right. That's the hope.
Yeah.
It's called what?
Called book breaking.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's another form of it.
Slaves. Yeah.
Go ahead, teach.
It just made me really think of what you said. Like they did this they did this because they love their money, they love their nation, they loved all these things. And it's a parallel to if you have not given those things up, you will share in that same, you will share in the same pouring out of vengeance because you have not given up. So like, that is hurting my head just thinking about it, but man, like it's a parallel to what's about to come.
That's right.
Like if you love those things, you will do the same thing that they did, which is take the mark and begin to take out your anger and frustration on those people that you feel like is taken away from being able to enjoy your house, your family, and those things that you love.
Come on, man.
Love them,
Man.
That's deep.
Yeah. They out of the abundance of the heart, the mouth speaks. So they're revealing their heart through this stuff. This is not God's heart. This is their heart, but they believe they love God. All right, yeah. Lou, you had something? Go ahead, Fraser.
Yeah, in verse 5.
We ain't even there yet. All right, go ahead, dog. You done read ahead. My dog eating over there.
Hey, just finish. Hey, just finish with 3 to 5, bro.
Go ahead, Fraser. Read 3 and then go to your 5 and what you got.
So Pilate asked Jesus, "Are you the king of the Jews?" You have said so. Jesus replied. Then Pilate announced to the chief priests and the crowd, "I find no basis for a charge against this man." But they insisted he stirs up the people all over by his teaching.
What?
He stated he started in Galilee and has come all the way here. So it just reminded me, I think we was talking about this the other day on the men's call about how a lot of his disciples who were once following him, they stopped following him because of his teaching. So it sounds like the reason why they were so angry and upset with him was because of the things that he was teaching. So again, you know what I'm saying? It just shows like his teachings was hard. Like, you know what I'm saying? It was no easy teaching. Like the things that he was telling the people.
Nah, 100%. So look what they used though. He stirs up the people. They said all this stuff. He claims to be a king. He's teaching people to not pay taxes. He teaching people to commit treason. Are y'all understanding the heart of what they saying? He's teaching people to do these things. And that was not his teachings. Go ahead, Elizabeth, sis. Ace. Go ahead, bro.
Nah, just hearing it, bro, like it goes back to the heart, right? When you're hearing the heart of everything, but you hear their excuses of what they're saying, it's like, nah, man, like here's what he's doing. But in my heart, man, we know he's messing up money, he's messing up our business. If he keeps doing this, our where we live at is gonna be taken by the Romans. Everything is gonna be gone. He's trying to teach people how to, I know, right, son? He's trying to teach people how to live independent. He's like, no, we can't have that. We got to keep these people down. That's what it is, man.
Bro, wow.
He's a threat.
I just thought about Pharaoh all over again, bro. Wow.
And it's the complete opposite because while they were sitting here worrying about all the things that he was taking away, he was trying to get them on his side. He would share, like, he would share in the, like, we're going to dwell with him. Like,
heavenly riches and things and all that is not appealing. Just like now, that's why everybody want earthly things. It's not even appealing now. It's coming. Go ahead, bro.
One of those parables just came up out there and I just had it in my head. But they were I'll come back.
All right. Man, it's so much. We're gonna have to continue on the next one. So let's finish this out. I'm sorry. This is how it goes, y'all. This is why it's a series.
I'm good.
I remember, bro.
Go ahead.
the parable of the sower. You know what I'm saying? When they were so excited, and when they first heard it and everything. And I know, you know, it's more with us as well, but they were so excited, bro. And then, you know, when we just read that, like it just, yeah, man, yeah.
Even more, I always talk about the honeymoon phase. It's almost
Right.
like us, right? We came together, we learning something new, and you know, people that came and went, all kind of stuff. You know,
Now it's the nitty gritty now.
yeah, you get
It's so
excited, you get excited
Yeah.
and things like that, but then it's like, okay, this is
You know what's good?
whatever,
You know
yeah, whatever, right?
We don't like seeing our true selves, regardless of whatever that is, whether it's something, you know, big and, you know, just things that we need to change. Sometimes we don't like seeing that. Sometimes we don't like that feeling, because I didn't like it at first. You know what I'm saying? But once you start realizing certain things, you're like, oh, okay, this is for my good. It's not nobody coming at me. They're trying to change the heart of things, the way you look at things, the way you your decision making, your all of that, bro. So it's, yeah, man.
Most definitely, man. I'm gonna just go ahead and read 23, man. Some of 23, and then we'll close out with this. I want us to, now we got that process going, right? We're gonna come back again, you know, our next Bible study and keep this going. But I want us to really get it, man. Teach over there laughing and just, you messing me up, bro. What's up, man? What you got, bro?
Nah, you trying to stop. It ain't gonna happen.
It's another Bible study coming. Right?
Keep going.
The thing that we need to know is, like, we need to see the plan A, plan B in this opposition. You know what I'm saying? We see this opposition, and God had to just allow it. In the same way he had to allow Adam and Eve to make their decisions and see where that turned out. All these things, God allowance shows his wisdom, because God only wants the type of people that will be on the same type of time he gonna be on. That's all he wants. All right. So we was in 5. Insisted he stirs up all the people of Judea by his teaching. He started in Galilee and has come all the way here. On hearing this, Pilate asked if the man was a Galilean. Watch this. When he learned that Jesus was under Herod's jurisdiction, he sent him to Herod, who was also in Jerusalem at that time. Now watch what goes on. When Herod saw Jesus, he was greatly pleased, because for a long time he had been wanting to see him. From what he had heard about him, he hoped to see what?
Wow, him perform a sign of some sort.
Mm-hmm.
So the Romans just thought he was some like magician out here, you know, doing this and doing that, right?
Yeah.
Not the son of, not the savior, not someone who's coming to help me. All right.
Yeah. Herod had been after him a long time.
Now watch what he's saying. Somebody read verse 9 through 11. I mean, well, 9 and 10.
He piled him with many questions, but Jesus gave no answer. The chief priests and the teachers of the law were standing there. Help me with that word.
Vehemently.
Okay, accusing him.
What does that mean, y'all?
Like strongly believe.
Yeah.
Passion.
In his face.
So think about this setting. I love it. We could think about the setting now. Herod wants him to do some type of sign, some type of miracle. You know, Herod kind of want to set him free. Right? So he's there, and Jesus, he's already, Jesus has got himself to a place of true acceptance. I'm not trying to say anything to make y'all release me.
I didn't even look at it like that. Wow.
I'm not going to do some sign, because that's not my father's what?
Will.
Wow.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Because he would have released them.
That's
sign.
Wow.
But it was his time to go, so he had to.
Wow.
Bruh.
Wow. He swallowed that.
That's why he was torn about John the Baptist, because there was something about John the Baptist that he seen, just like in Jesus.
Really,
till he was forced to put that head on a platter.
John really did his thing. He paved the way.
Yeah.
But it was supposed to be the setup for plan A. But here it is with when
That's
people
right.
reject them, we have to go to plan B.
He ain't saying nothing and he ain't doing nothing right now. He ain't saying or doing nothing. And guess who? The chief priest. So everywhere Jesus went, when Pilate sent them to Herod, the chief priests, the teachers of the law, they're all there. They're going wherever he go. They're not letting him go.
Out their side.
That's right.
Wow.
Go ahead, bro.
No, I just went back and begin like towards the beginning of Luke, and I know it's in Matthew and Mark, but when they were just watching him so strongly, you know what I'm saying? And the fact that you said they were everywhere, his whole teaching, they were exactly there. Like the chief priests and the teachers of the law, like everything. They didn't like what he was saying. They said, "Oh, you hurt our feelings." So they were there every single place with him, bro, just to make sure they try to get something to trip him up for this very moment. You know what I'm saying? So they can just recall. I mean, they recall lies, but you know what I mean.
Most definitely. 100%. I'm going to finish reading this. I want y'all to hear these words real quick, and then we're going to start to close. So it says, the chief priests and teachers of law were standing there vehemently accusing him. Verse 11. Then Herod and his soldiers ridiculed and mocked him, dressing him in an elegant robe. They sent him back to Pilate. That day, Herod and Pilate became friends. I want to say so much right there. Babylon is going to form. So everybody you think enemies right now all over the world, all the governments and stuff you think is enemies of each other, is going to form an alliance. And in one day, one moment, they're going to be friends to complete a demonic, devilish agenda.
A common enemy.
That day, Herod and Pilate became friends. Before this, they had been enemies. Pilate called together the chief priests, the rulers, and the people, and said to them, "You brought this man to me. You brought me this man as one who was inciting the people to rebellion. I have examined him." What God wants us to be just, not unjust. He wants us to be just. I have examined him in your presence and have found no basis for charges against him. What's supposed to happen if you're in a courtroom of law and the judge just said that?
You're supposed to go home. That's it.
Case
That's all?
dismissed. Case dismissed.
Do the people in the audience have a say so if the judge just said this?
No.
Nope.
Y'all see how wicked this is?
Yeah.
Matter of fact, when they do get loud and protest and do all them extras in the courtroom, the judge bang that gavel again and say, "If you keep talking, you're going to jail."
Right?
I'm gonna hold you in contempt.
Man, I hope we getting it to the core of our hearts. This is coming. This is coming again. Neither I have examined him in your presence and have found no basis for your charges against him. Neither has Herod, for he sent him back to us. As you can see, he has done nothing to deserve death. Therefore, watch this. To appease you guys, isn't that what Babylon going to try to do? Appease. I will punish him and then release him. Frazier, what they do next?
Verse 18.
Yep.
But the whole crowd shouted, "Away with this man, release Barbarius to us." Barbarius has been thrown into prison for an insurrection into the city and for murder.
Stop there. What? I'm gonna punish him and let him go free. Watch this. Everybody start. No. No. Forget a beating. We already beat him. I don't want him. Forget the beating. We want what? Blood.
Yeah.
So, matter of fact, give us Barabbas and
They want blood so much that they asked for someone who had already shed blood.
A bloodthirsty crowd.
Yeah, very bloodthirsty. Yeah. For him, and they weren't gonna stop until it happened.
That's right, bro. You just said it. Give us the true prisoner. We'll deal with him. Give us Satan. Give us Satan. We want Satan. But you take what you think is innocent, you take him and you crucify him. Let's read it. Wanting to release Jesus, Pilate appealed. He's appealing to them again, but they kept shouting what?
Crucify him. Crucify him.
No backbone. As a judge, as a governor. For the third time, he spoke to them. Why? What crime has this man committed? I have found in him no grounds for the death penalty. Therefore, I will punish him, have him punished, and then release him. But with loud shouts, they insistently demanded that he be crucified, and their shouts, what?
Prevailed.
Their votes mattered.
That's right.
Wow.
People pleasing.
Wow.
People pleasing. So,
go
ahead, bro.
Sad though, it's like reading about Pilate though, it's like he knew it. He couldn't find nothing to the fact that he couldn't find nothing to, you know what I mean? Like he knew that he was innocent, but then it was like the people. Even how how they can turn into like us, like I guess the modern times, like you say, he ain't have no backbone. Like he knew this wasn't right. He knew in his spirit and his soul. That's why he kept going back and forth. Like I can't find nothing in this man, but wanting to please the people versus taking a stand for what was right.
I need their vote, so I have to please them.
How many of us do that? We don't take a stand. We don't stand for the truth. We know this is the truth. We know it's right. But we don't want to lose family. We don't want to lose jobs. We don't want to lose this. Instead of taking a stand for our God, we just fold because we deep down inside, you're a coward.
Most definitely. Go ahead, Louis.
I just seen it. The Holy Father showing us that the government and that king don't have the power. You do. Even to this day.
Go ahead, teach. Definitely.
This made me think about Samuel when the people rejected God as their king. And they was like, give us a man king like the other nations. And it was like how he told Samuel, he was like, don't worry, they not rejected you, they rejected me. And it's just that same scene playing out of they not rejecting, they're rejecting Jesus. Like, they're rejecting me. It's just this.
Watch how this ends. And I'm going to stop on verse 25. So Pilate decided to grant their demand. He released the man who had been thrown into prison for insurrection and murder. The one they asked for. Watch this. And did what?
Surrender Jesus to their will.
We're going to stop there. This was not God's will for Messiah to be beaten, flogged, scourged, that's what's in it. But this is showing us what Satan will do and is going to be able to do. I'm gonna stop there today. All right, YouTube, Facebook, thank y'all for joining us. We're gonna stay on for 5 minutes. On TikTok and Zoom, we're gonna be on for 5 more minutes. So with that being said, y'all, please take this serious. Take it serious, understanding God's will, what his will is, even for what we're about to be facing. So with that being said, peace, grace, and love. Spend a lot of time with God, a little time with self. Till next time, we out.